Once upon a time, in a small town where the houses were the color of old coins and the streets were paved with smooth river stones, there lived a young woman named Maya. Maya was an artist, but she did not paint with oils or water. She painted with light. Every evening, as the sun began to drop behind the tall, dark pine trees on the horizon, Maya would walk up the winding stairs of the old town tower with a heavy wooden box in her arms. Inside the box were dozens of glass jars, and inside each jar was a different kind of glowing dust. There was a soft, pale blue dust that looked like the first hour of morning. There was a deep, warm orange dust that felt like a crackling fire on a cold night. And there was a quiet, silver dust that looked exactly like moonlight sleeping on a calm lake. The people of the town were always very busy, and they were always very tired. They walked with their heads down, looking at their leather shoes, thinking about the work they had to do tomorrow, or the money they needed to save, or the words they forgot to say to their friends. They rarely looked up at the sky, but Maya looked at the sky every single day. She knew that the sky was a giant canvas, and she knew that the people needed something beautiful to look at before they closed their eyes to sleep. She believed that a beautiful sight before bed could wash away the dust of a hard day and bring peaceful, sweet dreams. One Tuesday evening, the air was uncommonly still. The wind was resting, holding its breath in the branches of the trees. Maya reached the top of the tower, breathing a little heavily from the long climb. She placed her wooden box on the stone ledge and looked out over the town. The small windows of the houses were beginning to light up, one by one, like yellow eyes opening in the dark. She opened her box, and the soft glow of the colorful dust illuminated her face, making her dark eyes shine with a gentle enthusiasm. "Tonight," she whispered to herself, her voice traveling softly into the cool night air. "Tonight, we will create something truly special." She dipped her fingers into the jar of pale blue dust. It felt cool and soft like velvet. With a slow, wide sweep of her arm, she threw the dust into the air. It did not fall to the ground. Because Maya was an artist of light, the dust floated upward, spreading out across the darkening sky like a long, soft blanket of silk. The sky, which had been a dull, heavy gray, suddenly transformed into a deep, comforting ocean of blue. Down in the town, an old baker named Thomas was closing his shop. He had been baking bread since 4 o'clock in the morning, and his back was aching. He was thinking about the flour he had spilled and the loaves that had burned in the oven. He felt heavy as if his boots were made of lead. But as he turned the iron key in his shop door, a strange, beautiful reflection caught his eye in the glass window. He stopped. He turned around slowly, and for the first time in many months, Thomas looked up. Above him, the sky was alive. The blue dust was moving in slow, rhythmic waves, like a quiet sea under a gentle breeze. Thomas stared at it. He forgot about his aching back. He forgot about the burned bread. He breathed in deeply, the cool night air filling his lungs, and a small, rare smile touched his lips. "How beautiful," he murmured to the empty street. Up in the tower, Maya smiled. She could not see Thomas, but she could feel that the world below was beginning to quiet down. She reached into her box again, this time choosing the warm orange dust. She took a large handful and blew it gently from her palm, sending it swirling into the blue sky. The orange dust mixed with the blue, creating long glowing rivers of amber and gold that twisted and turned around the roofs of the houses. It looked like a giant warm fireplace had been built in the heavens, casting a cozy, protective glow over the entire valley. A young mother named Elena was sitting by her child's bed in a small cottage at the edge of the town. Her little boy, Leo, was restless. He could not sleep because he was afraid of the dark shadows that the old oak tree cast on his bedroom wall. Elena was tired, her eyes heavy with exhaustion, but she kept singing the same soft lullaby, hoping it would bring him peace. Suddenly, a warm, golden light filled the room, erasing the scary shadows and painting the walls in a soft, amber glow. Leo stopped crying. He looked at the window. "Look, Mama," he whispered, pointing a small finger toward the glass. "The sky is wearing a golden coat." Elena looked out the window and gasped. The beauty of the sky was overwhelming. It was not just light. It felt like a physical warmth, a great hug from the universe. She wrapped her arms around her son, and together they watched the golden rivers flow across the dark canvas of the night. Leo's eyes grew heavy. The fear left his small body, replaced by the deep security of the golden light. Within minutes, his breathing became slow and steady, and he drifted into a deep, peaceful sleep. Elena kissed his forehead, her own heart feeling lighter than it had in weeks. Maya, watching from her high tower, felt a deep sense of purpose. But she was not finished yet. The masterpiece needed one final touch. She opened the last jar, the one containing the quiet silver dust. This dust was the most delicate of all. It did not flow like water or burn like fire. It danced like tiny, silent stars. She took a silver thimbleful of the dust and scattered it with a delicate flick of her wrist. The silver dust exploded silently into thousands of tiny, glittering points of light. They settled on top of the blue waves and the golden rivers, twinkling softly like a million tiny candles lit just for the town. The effect was magical. The entire sky seemed to be breathing, expanding and contracting in a slow, hypnotic rhythm that matched the heartbeat of the earth. A young man named David, who spent his nights writing long, complicated stories that never seemed to have a good ending, sat at his wooden desk. He was frustrated. His crumpled papers covered the floor like white stones. He felt stuck, as if his mind were a room with no doors and no windows. But then the silver light entered his room, dancing across his blank paper like tiny fairies. David stood up and walked to his open window. He leaned his hands on the wooden sill and looked up. The sight of the silver stars dancing in the ocean of blue and gold broke something open inside him. The frustration melted away, replaced by a sudden, clear stream of inspiration. He did not need to write complicated stories about monsters and wars. He just needed to write about the simple, beautiful truth of the world. He sat back down, picked up his pen, and began to write words that flowed as smoothly as Maya's light. The night grew deeper. The colorful dust began to settle slowly, wrapping the town in a blanket of absolute peace. The busy thoughts of the people faded away, replaced by the quiet magic of the sky. One by one, the yellow lights in the windows of the houses went out. The baker, the mother, the child, and the writer all closed their eyes, their minds filled with images of blue oceans, golden rivers, and silver stars. Maya closed her wooden box and fastened the brass latch. She looked at the sky one last time. It was now dark and quiet, the light having done its beautiful work. She felt a deep, comfortable tiredness in her own bones. She walked down the winding stone stairs of the tower, her footsteps making a soft, rhythmic sound in the darkness. When she reached her own small cottage, she climbed into her bed, pulled the thick wool blanket up to her chin, and closed her eyes. As she drifted into sleep, she knew that tomorrow the sky would be blank again, a new canvas waiting for her hands, and she smiled perfectly at peace in the quiet heart of the night.